Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video. I thought we'd take a look at the brand new Ahsoka teaser because what else is there to talk about right now? Unfortunately, as of the time I'm recording this, the teaser has not been made available online in high quality, but I thought it was worth discussing for the simple fact that we've now gotten some new Hayden Christensen dialogue, or at least I think so. I actually thought that this may be a scam, clickbait, whatever, because that's totally been going around on YouTube. I nearly got bamboozled by an Ezra Bridger one, and I heard reports of a fake Hayden one, but I'm just going to play the trailer for you in whole, and I've got to give a special thank you to Kyle Arking on Twitter, who captured this. I'll link to his page down in the description.
Everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
By the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi.
In this war, you will face more than just droids. As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you. Don't be afraid. I know you can do this, Ahsoka.
First of all, a couple interesting shots. This one in particular shows Ahsoka's ship facing off against what looks like a weaponized hyperspace ring. One thing that I think I'm going to love about Ahsoka, and you probably will too if you're watching this channel, is that we apparently are getting lots of new ship designs. But obviously the really interesting stuff here is the dialogue. First off, this is something you may not have noticed, but Baylan admits to knowing the truth of Darth Vader. He says everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker, few lived to see what he became. I've got a few theories about Baylan. One is that he was an Order 66 survivor who just sort of cracked. That would sort of be within the Jorah Sabayoth archetype, and he would know Vader for that reason because he probably wanted to kill him himself. The other option is that he worked as an Inquisitor or in some other capacity where he interacted with Vader and was able to put the puzzle pieces together. It's also possible he just stumbled across the information, but I'm guessing there's a reason that he's talking to Ahsoka like this and that he knows who Darth Vader actually is. An even wackier theory could be that Baylan has seen this through the World Between Worlds, maybe even Ahsoka's confrontation with Vader during Star Wars Rebels. But then we actually hear from Anakin himself, and I really do think this is Hayden Christensen. I can't be sure. Older Anakin to me actually sounds a bit more like Matt Lanter, but the way he says, as a master, it's my responsibility to prepare you, that just really sounds like Hayden Christensen to me.
As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you.
The question is, what's going on here? This seems like a training sequence between Ahsoka and Anakin, possibly a flashback, and you'd think this is another version of the scene from Tales of the Jedi, where he trains Ahsoka and helps her eventually survive Order 66. The thing is, this dialogue is completely different. I was actually wondering whether they just ripped audio from the scene. They did not. This is new dialogue, and it's actually somewhat of a different flavor. In that training sequence in Tales of the Jedi, Anakin harshly trains Ahsoka, but he trains her for battle droids. He specifically says, if you can face off against Rex and his men, you'll be fine out there. In this case, he says, in this war, you'll face more than just droids. Now, could this be a Force Ghost Anakin training Ahsoka? I mean, it's certainly possible, but just to me, the way he's talking, that doesn't sound like what a Force Ghost would talk like. They're usually pretty contemplative. They're not putting on the veneer of, you know, being a well-kept master. He would just talk to her. So in my opinion, this is either a different take on that scene or it's a completely different training scene altogether. I do believe Hayden Christensen will be in this show. I remember way back when someone I knew got a script for The Rise of Skywalker from an inside source. It ended up being exactly correct. Disney went to their door and they told me that they heard from the same source that the reason Anakin wasn't in The Rise of Skywalker, at least he didn't appear in person, is because he was signed to a deal where Disney would secure his performances in 3 different projects. Now, The Rise of Skywalker would have counted as one, so instead they decided to save him for Ahsoka. Whether that's true or not, that's sort of what I've been operating off of, but I mean, either way, I do think he will be in this show. I find it really interesting how the shorts have continually been relying on that Kenobi footage. I mean, obviously from a marketing standpoint, you want to drive Star Wars fans to your other Disney Plus properties, but I do think it may also be a hint to, hey, expect Anakin again. Another conversation that I saw again on Twitter was about the lack of any sort of animation in all these teasers. I talked about this in my other video, but I think Disney is doing that very deliberately. You know, even among hardcore Star Wars fans, the TV shows are way less popular than the movies, and especially true for the animated TV shows. They don't want people to think that these characters are from quote-unquote cartoons, or that you have to watch a cartoon to understand them because of the negative association with that, because they seem childlike. It would have been a turnoff for me, honestly, before I eventually jumped in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels as well. But that's all for today. I'll try to edit a pinned comment when that trailer does eventually go live, or really the TV spot. If it does get uploaded to YouTube, usually it will. But until next time, I'll see you soon.